Hi, this is Brad Hennings from CCK Law. We're here today to talk a little bit about rubber-stamped benefits. And what I mean is there is a Veterans Benefits Administration staffer that approved thousands of disability claims without proper review over nearly 2 years. So these approvals occurred at 20 times the normal rate, suggesting the claims were rubber-stamped rather than evaluated on the merits. So this creates uncertainty and potential hardship for veterans whose claims were handled by this employee. So VA now faces massive cleanup work to re-review thousands of decisions. Many claims processed by this staffer may have errors in grant or denial decisions, missing evidence evaluations, incorrect effective dates, or disability evaluations. So some of the experts quoted in these articles discussing this are that, some veterans may have been wrongfully denied benefits that they should have received. Others may have been underpaid because proper rating criteria were never applied. And some could be deemed overpaid if VA determines the original grant was improper. So it may seem great that all these veterans were granted benefits, but this could be bad for veterans and their dependents. You have risk of overpayment and clawbacks. If VA re-reviews a claim and decides the original award was incorrect, they may retroactively reduce the rating, declare an overpayment, and attempt to recover money from the veteran. There's a risk of loss of benefits. So these veterans whose cases were rubber stamped could lose disability compensation, special monthly compensation, TDIU, or ancillary benefits such as CHAMP VA, DEA, etc. We understand that this can cause stress and uncertainty. Veterans may feel blindsided by unexpected debt letters, requests for reexamination, and long delays as VA tries to fix this backlog of issues. It also talks about some systemic trust issues. This episode highlights procedural failures that undermine confidence in the VA claims process. We want this to be a fair and accurate process, and when you have someone who isn't playing by the rules, whether that's in favor of veterans or against veterans, it becomes a problem in undermining the confidence of the entire system. So what should veterans do if VA contacts them about this? So veterans have several options, including you can challenge the validity of the debt. You can ask VA to show exactly how the alleged overpayment was created. You can request a waiver of the debt. You can argue that it was not the veteran's fault and that repayment would cause financial hardship. This is governed by 38 CFR 1.963 and section 1.965. That's a really powerful tool. Again, if you can say this is VA's fault, not my fault, and this is going to cause me a hardship, you may be able to get VA to waive that debt. And then third, you can always request a payment plan if the debt is valid but unaffordable as a lump sum. Again, it's really unfortunate that this happened. We don't like when VA employees or anyone goes rogue in the VA disability benefit system. It's incredibly important to maintain that integrity and that trust in the system. And again, this is Brad from CCK Law, and thank you for listening.